What's the brokest thing you've ever done? I was subletting a place and needed bus fare to get to work that day. So I searched every couch cushion and coat pocket in the hopes that I could find enough to get there. I ended up finding a ton of pennies. So I paid the bus fare in pennies. I was 30 cents short, but the bus driver just gave me a transfer and waved me in. The first customer of the day tipped me like $5 on their coffee, and I've never been so happy in my life. Brokest and stupidest thing I did. I bought scratch tickets in hopes to win money to buy Christmas presents when I was 18. I didn't want anyone to think I had money problems at the time, so I spent $10 on a scratcher and won $500. I don't know how, but it was enough for car insurance and presents. Called in sick on Wednesday because I didn't have enough gas money to drive to work, but one more time, which I waited till Thursday to do, because that was payday. Hit an a day old Hostess bakery outlet was still packaged, and just elderly mom would get so excited when we brought that stuff had lived through the depression and couldn't believe it was thrown a treat. Walked into a Costco with an expired membership card and had samples for dinner. I made the rounds a few times. Bought a case of ramen noodles at the self-checkout at Walmart with 4 different debit cards that each had less than $1 on them. You can make partial payments at Walmart self-checkout, and nobody has to know how broke you are. Me and my 3 kids ate for the next 2 days. Washed dirty clothes in the bathtub with dishwashing liquid. Couldn't afford quarters for the machine. My motorcycle headlight broke, so I started riding around with a flashlight in my mouth. True story. I was young and very dumb. Back in the 90s, I wrote myself a check to cover me until payday. Showers at the gym. Taking napkins and plastic utensils from restaurants. Living off of protein powder and ramen. Reading through these. And I've had to do so many of these to survive over the years. I think my most shameful and felt so low moment was having to use toilet paper and Scotch tape, as I couldn't afford pads or tampons. Got a gym membership just for the shower when I was living in my car for 3-ish months at 22. Refused transport to the hospital, or any medical care at all, after I was hit by a car. I had been riding my bike home from work, and going to the hospital would have meant leaving my only transportation on the side of the road. I didn't carry a lock because I only rode my bike to work and had secure indoor storage for it at home and work. Stole food for my kids. Really ashamed, but I couldn't let them go to bed hungry. 1992. 22F divorced single parent 2F. Working part-time. Going to nursing school full-time. I was broke enough to qualify for food stamps, and back then they were actual paper. If you paid in food stamps, the store gave your change to you in paper food stamps and coins. Every day on the way home I would stop at a couple stores to buy something for $1.05. Or $1.10, so they would give me the maximum in coin change. I would use the $3, $4 for gas to get to school and work the next day. Did that for a few months to get through a hard time. I overdrafted my bank account on purpose, having just a couple of dollars left. Buying a gift card to make sure I'd have enough money to last me until the end of the week in case my bank cut me off. As a matter of fact, it was a February going into March. I got hit with virtually every bill I had to pay, without having a full month's pay. So, that was a little bit of a struggle until my next payday. I had $10 for food for 2 weeks, so I got things to make a large pot of veggie soup, lentils, broth, canned veggies and a large tub of plain oatmeal, and ate vegan not on purpose for 3 weeks. Till it was gone. I've been told that rich people call this a cleanse diet now. Sold my plasma for grocery money. Stole a roll of TP from a public restroom because I was out and couldn't afford any. It was an extra roll. I didn't take the one in use and leave none behind. Lol. That's just mean. Joined the military. Riding my bike home from the grocery store with my little bike basket full of the Wick groceries. Didn't have a car. Went off the curb too hard and everything flew out of the basket. I watched the canned beans and tuna, cheese, tortillas, milk, carrots and peanut butter for my family get crushed by traffic. Had sleep for dinner and breakfast. Ketchup soup made with stolen ketchup packets from a fast food restaurant. Told my brother his Christmas gift was going to be delivered a couple of days after Christmas. Waited until I got a couple of gift cards that I asked for a Christmas gift, and bought his gift using those. Green beans and tap water for dinner while I was waiting for payday. Doing way better these days. Didn't eat for 3 days. When I was in high school, I lived alone. My bathroom was in the hall and I had to bang on the door to scare the rats off if I had to use the bathroom at night. Still had little rat footprints on the toilet. Often. I couldn't afford to pay my rent and eat. I would shove tuna cans down my jeans and buy a loaf of bread. There was a bakery in town that gave away unsellable items at the back door. Using my uni student ID as a free bus pass to get to my minimum wage food service job, which will also be my only meal for the day. One post of my car's battery corroded in half. I couldn't afford a new battery, so I borrowed a drill and used a stainless steel screw to reconnect the halves. It actually worked. Shortly after that, my dad thankfully bought me a new car battery. Hocked wife's engagement ring that she wasn't wearing so I could buy her a Christmas gift. She thought I just took it back because we were on a break. I was eventually able to buy it back and return it to her jewelry box. That was over 25 years ago. And I still haven't told her. Picked up dropped coins from the floor of a laundromat when I was a kid. To buy a pot pie for my mother. She made me eat it because she was a saint. I used to eat free breakfast at motels. As long as you don't look like complete shit, it's easy enough to pass as a guest. When I was really poor and hungry and had $1.32 to my name, I bought one of those super cheap frozen TV dinners that cost $1. Peeled the top back. Put a little salt on my tongue. Sniffed the meal like a lot to just visualize how good it would be. And then put it right back in the freezer to save for when I near death starving. I lasted 4 days and then actually ate it for real. I thank the Lord I was never in a position like that ever again after that day. Stole salt and pepper shakers from Denny's. I was 17, had my own apt. Was attending nursing school all day. High school at night and worked 3 double shifts 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday sat sun. I was broke and was certain the police were going to knock on door for a couple weeks after. I was a broke kid just trying to survive. Slept on the streets for 3 months. I was down to a backpack full of clothes, a couple of books, and my guitar. That was at the end of 2019. I have a good job now, a car, and I'm doing well. Thankfully, toughest 3 months of my life.